Hello and welcome to Women in Retail Talks. I'm Ashley Tradio, Senior Content Strategist at the Women in Retail Leadership Circle, and today I'm joined by Carolyn Arson, CEO and founder of It's a 10 Haircare, one of the only female-owned professional haircare brands in the world. Today we're going to be talking about what inspired Carolyn to start It's a 10 Haircare, how the brand has held up during the COVID-19 pandemic, her new venture, It's a 10 Enterprises, and much more. So Carolyn, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So I know that It's a 10 Haircare was born out of your frustration with haircare brands during your career as a stylist and salon owner. I was hoping we could start by you telling us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So I stood behind the chair for 20 years and as well as owned a salon. And one of my largest frustrations was when I had my salon, I cherry picked the lines because I never really could find a line where all the products were good. So I think I carried 14 different lines and just like various products from each one. And so when it came to the point in my life where I was actually creating a line, of course, you know, after wondering for years behind the chair, why didn't products do this? Why didn't they say what they did? Why is this so confusing? I took all of those things and really rolled it into what I was creating.
Gotcha. So It's a 10 Haircare fortunately did not have to let go of any employees during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is amazing. How did the pandemic affect the brand? And did any business strategies or operations have to pivot?
Absolutely. It was an absolute roller coaster ride. And as I'm sure, you know, many businesses have been going through during these interesting times, to say the least. You know, it's interesting in the beginning, it started off with kind of everyone buying the product in a frenzy, stocking up on it, wanting to make sure that they had enough or they wouldn't run out maybe during the shutdown. So we originally went through that. And then we ended up all having to work from home. And so adapting to that, making sure that all my employees were able to do that. And making sure that we obviously had the inventory lined up to be able to supply our suppliers and really kind of pivot how they were actually going to be getting the products because the salons were closed. A lot of our distributors closed down. So we have been working on an e-commerce platform for the last 3 years. So we noticed that quite a bit of the traffic transferred to our e-commerce platform. And of course, we had to make sure we had the fulfillment centers ready for that. We had the shipping capabilities ready for that. So it definitely has been a roller coaster ride. We had previously kind of stocked up on inventory, which was good, but it got to the point where we kind of started running out as well. We had to air freight in packaging. We had to make sure that obviously we could keep our pipeline filled. So it's been a lot of changes.
Yeah, but it sounds like you've pivoted really well.
Yes, we have managed. You know, it's interesting. We're based out of Florida, and we have had the hurricanes to deal with over the years. And you know, it's amazing how any type of shutdown protocol really needs to be in place for various reasons. Obviously, this year happened to be COVID, but we've gone through things like this before because of hurricanes. So that is why we are cloud-based. We can literally pick our computers up and work from anywhere because of the 2015 hurricane I went through. You know, there's a lot that I've learned in my 15 years of being in business.
That's really interesting. So I wanted to talk about the Super Bowl ad from a few years back. So obviously It's a 10 has been a cult favorite for years, but it became the first indie-owned haircare brand to run a national Super Bowl spot. How did that come to be, and how did it affect business?
You know, it's interesting because we definitely have been very much a cult favorite. You know, this company was started with me and my partner with very little money and one bottle. So years into it, especially in the beginning, we didn't have big marketing budgets. So it really became a word of mouth type of product. Well, after 10 years in business, I ended up buying my partner out. And I thought, how can I really have a coming out party that no one will forget? So that's how the Super Bowl concept came about. It was really not only me introducing the brand to the world, because it was very well known already, but it was really, I think I wanted to send a message within my commercial. It was a black and white commercial that was actually about diversity and color. So it was about all people within this country. It was about all different types of nationalities and hair types within this country, because my brand has been for all people and all hair types from day one. I grew up in a very multicultural world, and so I did multicultural hair, and I made sure that I executed that when I actually created products. So I really wanted to create that message, and ironically, 3 years later, with everything that's going on within our society, it seems like that that commercial, which won awards, by the way, was a bit ahead of its time, because it's really about celebrating diversity of beauty.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to talk about you and your husband are launching It's a 10 Enterprises, which will gather all of your lucrative businesses under one umbrella. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so actually, what is happening is It's a 10 Haircare has other companies underneath it. And these companies that are affiliated directly with It's a 10 Haircare are still my companies. What is happening though, my husband works with me, and we are branching out into various types of other avenues within the beauty world. So we're creating a men's hair color line. It's a 10, under It's a 10 umbrella, we've launched hair tools, hair extensions, and a makeup line coming out in September. So we really, we partner together and work on a lot of projects, but we're working on some really interesting other companies that are in, skincare and hair color and things that we're doing together.
Gotcha. So I'm sure you have a lot of great advice. Being a leader in 2020 is tough to say the least. Can you talk about any strategies you've used to lead your team and to keep them motivated throughout this time?
Absolutely. One of the scariest things during COVID, not only obviously for the United States, but for the entire world, was the uncertainty of what was going to happen. And a lot of businesses felt that uncertainty. And one of the things that was, I think, most important as a leader to my employees during that time was to assure them that they didn't have to worry. It's a 10 Haircare has been in business for 15 years. We are self-funded. We are built on a solid foundation. We don't have, tremendous amount of debts and things that actually could make us volatile. So, we picked up our computers, we went home, and I assured them that they had jobs and that their benefits would remain in place while we all get through this together. And, there were some days where they had a lot to do, but there were some days, some people didn't have that much to do, but that was okay. I wanted them to be assured that they knew they had a solid job and they didn't have to worry.
That's great. That's a positive of having a small and lean team.
Yes, absolutely.
So I wanted to end by talking about mentorship. Women in retail, we really value mentorship. Do you have any mentors or mentees, or can you talk about how mentorship has played a role in your career at all?
Absolutely. I can remember being very young and having tremendous amount of mentors within the industry itself, just people that were hairdressers, possibly hairdressers turned entrepreneurs and hair product line manufacturers, people I always looked up to and aspired to be alike someday. But I can honestly tell you that I think the foundation to my success is my ability to manage finances well, to not overextend, to get ready for the future and plan, to always look 2 to 4 years out and work towards projects, but make sure that you have the funds to actually achieve your goals. So I would say that my biggest mentor was my father. who taught me at a very young age how to manage money, as well as he taught me how to use QuickBooks. He taught me how to use Quicken. He taught me how to invest. I was 14 years old, going to tax seminars and learning how to invest in my future. He taught me how to pay myself first. And I think all of this is the foundation to what I do today and the businesses that I run. He used to call me his little businesswoman. I was a teenager.
I love that.
Yeah, I was a teenager. He would sit me down in front of the computer. He would teach me to manage my money. And I was a starving hairdresser. I couldn't even afford medical insurance. He says, I'll pay half, you pay the other half. We'll get through this. Make sure you're covered. Put a Roth IRA together. Put a little IRA together. I was self-employed. So most hairdressers don't think about those things. I was doing that at 18 years old.
Well, that's great advice. Carolyn, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Women in Retail Talks.
My pleasure. And I thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at womeninretail.com for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.